grew up in that second half, and it started with John Piatelli, but it was a group effort getting back into that game, and a really good opportunity for a marquee at-a-conference win for both of these teams.
Violation off the start. Cornell will possess. Cornell gave up 9 goals in the first 20 minutes, 11 seconds against Syracuse on Monday, allowing just 6 over the final 41 minutes and 1 second. Of course, it would be Hugh Kelleher with the game winner in overtime. Early lead. Again, it was Cornell falling down 4-0 on Monday night up at Syracuse. So this is certainly a well-tested Cornell team that is going to certainly not panic. And right now, though, Army a chance to build against Colgate. We have yet to see Brendan Nichtern pick up a goal, but that could change. Here's a shot and a save by Erlin. That one stopping Nichtern. Nichtern gets it back. Again, Brendan Nichtern, one of the more impressive.
How to attack Chase Erlin.
Well, how did Cornell overcome its deficit on Monday? We saw Angelo Petrakis get stronger as the game went along on faceoffs. Here, though, another win by Coletti. We also saw John Piatelli really emerge for Cornell, as for much of the game during the comeback, he was responsible for roughly half the goals Cornell put together.
And their goaltender, Wyatt Schupler, has made some great saves early on. 6 saves in that first quarter. Chase Erlin has 6 himself, and he's keeping Cornell in it right now.
Off the faceoff, which has been a huge advantage for Army in this one. Once again, Coletti with it. Drops this one. But Long, a quick check to not get loose. But right, that was Bartolotto on Nichtern. That was not Adler, which is the matchup we've seen much of the afternoon.
And you see again another face-off win for Coletti and Army. You won
46 minutes and 12 seconds of playing time, allowing the Big Red to come back. As you mentioned, though,
this one to go.
On the faceoff, we do have a change for Cornell. That's Silos who's on, but once again, Coletti with the win, this time getting it to James Pryor, works it back to Coletti, who has some space into the Cornell end. Joins Waters as the only multiple goal scorers this afternoon, each with 2. Petrakis back in the face-off circle for Cornell. And
firing it up high by him, but this is where Cornell has to get better. They're 2 for 11 on face-off this far, both wins coming on violations. Angelo Petrakis is going to be a big part of this comeback if Cornell has one in them.
Right now, it's popped in the air. I don't think anybody saw it. Now Petrakis racing, but getting there first, James Pryor. He's provided some pretty solid support from the...
Letting it fly from outside. You need a save there from Nust.
20th goal of the season for Morin. Again, Army up now 9-2. Bardwell had it for a moment, took a check. In fact, took a pair of checks. Now this one handled by Jacobs, goes across to Nust, up.
First defender and forced the secondary slide. That time, Long does a nice job of making the cut.
Petrakis gets it free. Davis was close to it for Cornell. Coletti trying to recover for Army. And just too much traffic knocks it loose. However, 23rd then on the road to finish the regular season on Saturday the 30th at Princeton. And off the draw, it is Petrakis gets knocked off, and Coletti with it for Army.
So the 3rd time in a row, Petrakis has won the clamp, but he's unable to come up with the ground. Petrakis can continue some momentum here and keep things going in Cornell's favor.
So Kirst has factored in 3 of Cornell's 4 goals, with 2 goals and an assist on the afternoon. Petrakis comes out with it, then quickly finds contact, and it's Coletti who shovels that one free. Well, Abshire able to pick up his first of the game, but he's been productive all season, as that is now his 20th goal of the season. He was first team All-Patriot League last year with 16, the senior midfielder.
Now you see if you can win another face-off. You get this to 4, it starts to feel close.
So the ever-important face-off, it's Coletti who takes it.
And with Bartolotto getting lost, finds the cutter, and what a moment for the Ithaca native.
Yeah, the grandson of a Cornell legend, Cornell lacrosse legend, and an Ithaca native able to get the goal here at Sholkop for Army. And once again, Coletti has it off the face-off.
He is so good at finding loose balls and coming away with them.
5. And there's Coletti again. This time drops this one off. Nichtern centering feed, the turn and the save by Nust, denying Paul Johnson. Nick Turn gets it back.
And that just can't happen if you're Petrakis on that. Yep.
This afternoon, we see Coletti 15 for 20, 75% on faceoffs. We'll have Silos come on to take one for Cornell, but to go back to Angelo Petrakis, as of late, the clamp hasn't been the issue.
Yeah.
He's done a good job there, getting better as the afternoon's gone along in that department. But the wings for Army, Coletti after the clamp had just found ways to get it back for the Black Knights, and another example of face-off win by Coletti. Silos staying on him, but Coletti works this one back for Pryor.
They blitzed Cornell early, and every time it looked like Cornell would maybe have a chance to get back into this game, Army has found a way to restamp on the throats, and that's exactly speed by his defender. And Nuss put in a tough spot. Somehow it got through him.
So Philp now with 8 goals on the season, 2 on the day. Second team All-Patriot League last season as a junior with 12 goals in 9 games last season. Big Red will look to chip away. Davis, the freshman, through traffic. It's on the ground, picks it back up. Back to Kirst, always a good outlet. His dad played for Duke back in the late 80s, early 90s. His cousin Grace Faircloth, member of Cornell's women's lacrosse team. Alex Holmes starting to carve out a niche here as a second-line midfielder as a freshman. And now off the draw, Kirst leaps and grabs it.
Balls, goalie play. Schupler has been terrific. Let's see if they can continue it for one more quarter.
Silos knocks it free off the draw, but Pryor at least had it for a moment. Coletti gets it back, and here comes Coletti. He scored off the face-off immediately before, bounces this one wide, may have hit a stick on its way back behind the keeper.
When he gets downhill, he can go to either hand. That time he just hesitates with the right and gets to the cage with ease.
Silos and Coletti still on the draw. Coletti scoops it up. Again, there's that speed you talked about. Puts on the chance, saved by Nust.
And that's not a good shot. A rare mistake for now on Nust, who has had an even more difficult time in the cage than Erlin has. And it was an interesting decision to go away from Erlin. He had 6 saves in the first quarter alone. And you kind of understand why they did it, because you needed a wake-up call in some capacity, trailing 7-1 at that point. But he's not an over-imposing figure. But, man, is he strong on his lower body, using his legs on the inside roll on Jacobs. And that's just a grown man's move and finish. No chance for Nuss. And the 17 goals is much more of a product of what Cornell has struggled defensively today than it is for what's happened in goal between Erlin and Nust. They're really hard to beat, and Piatelli finds a way to do it.
So number 91 for Army, Jack Wygand, on that replay. And granted, we showed him with the Piatelli goal, but what we haven't seen is the fine job he's done on Piatelli really all game long. The 6'3", 220-pound senior has held to this point Piatelli to just 1 goal. Now Silos trying to get it by midfield, has 10 seconds to do it. Knocked away from his stick, but he catches it back on the correct side where he needed to be. Looking for Long, knocked loose. Ulbrich gets it free, and Army controls. Alex Holmes with his 2nd of the game, his 4th of the season, and this his 5th game of the season. Face-off violation will allow
it too. So you talked about finishing strong. Cornell at least doing that.
Off the draw, still on the turf. Whoever picks it up can play for the last shot, as we have a minute 10 left to go in this one. The possession clock hasn't started yet. I was going to say it may not, but finally picked up by Army. Anthony Seymour